Good morning. I'd like to call to order the public hearing for our CRA and LGEA funds. Those are the County Road Aid and Local Government Economic Assistance funds that are public hearing for April 28, 2023, 8:45 is now called to order. Will clerk please call the roll?
Esquire Aldridge.
Here.
Esquire Lasley.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Williams.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
All right, the purpose of this hearing is to obtain public comments from citizens regarding the possible use of the County Road Aid and Local Government Economic Assistance Funds for this next coming 2023-2024 fiscal year. So if there's any interested parties who would like to make a comment, now would be the appropriate time to do that and come to the podium. I see no citizens coming to the podium, so I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Warren County Fiscal Court, Friday, April 28th, 2023. I want to welcome everyone everyone online and everyone here personally watching today. We're going to start off, as we always do, the invocation, and we've got a good friend, Pastor Brandon Thompson from New Era Church. He's going to start us off with a blessing, and then we'll have Magistrate Aldridge lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor Thompson.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate the court having me this morning, and thank you for the good work you do. Let's pray. Father, we're so thankful this morning for another day that you've given us. We thank you that your word says that you ask us to, first of all, that we would pray for those who are in authority and those who have been placed in positions of respect and honor. So, Father, we pray for them this morning. We ask that you would give them wisdom, because we know your word says that if we would ask you for wisdom, you would give it. And so, Father, we thank you for wisdom this morning for the fiscal court, that they would have your mind on what to do in every situation and make the right decisions to be a blessing to our community. We thank you so much for it. In the precious name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
Will everybody please stand and face the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Thompson. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Esquire Aldridge.
Here.
Esquire Lasley.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Williams.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
All right, first item is approve the minutes of the special called fiscal court meeting on April 13th, 2023. A motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is approve the personnel changes for Warren County. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Questions, corrections? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a couple presentations. I'm going to ask our Parks and Rec Director, Chris Comer, to come forward and let us know what he's got cooking.
Judge, thank you for letting us just have a couple minutes this morning in fiscal court. As you know, I try to travel around with a pack of friends, and so we've got some friends here today that we'd like to introduce. First off, I'd like to bring up Jennifer Bailey, Laura Beth, and Courtney Stevens from the Bowling Green Warren County Public Library, and let you know about a project that they're doing. The project actually started yesterday. If you've been down to the Michael Buchanan Park tennis facility, as you go in the front door and go to the left, left towards the playground, there is a lift that we have in there. There's the playground area, and soon, within the next 30 days, there is going to be a beautiful mural that's being painted and paid for in full by the Warren County Bowling Green Public Library. That mural is going to be absolutely amazing. It's the same color theme of the facility, which is kind of like blue and gray. It's going to focus on the sport of tennis. It's going to focus on some highlighted areas within Warren County and Bowling Green, the Capitol, the fountain. It's also going to focus on the importance of reading, educating our youth. And so we want to thank Courtney Stevens and the entire library team. On top of all the stuff that they're doing with the mural, we have a wonderful partnership with this team. They're embedded with us in a multitude of different activities and programs. We're doing our Thrive program this summer, our Rec on the Run mobile rec program, where we go into the community, serve over 5,000 kids per year that can't get to parks, and they are absolutely amazing. So on behalf of the County Parks Department, we want to thank Courtney, Laura, Jennifer, the entire library team. They're kind of part of our family, and we're looking forward to this great mural, and hopefully within about 30 days it'll be complete. So Courtney, thank you all for being our partner, and thank you for the mural. The second group of friends that we would like to bring up is our Kiwanis friends. We'd like to bring up Jesse Reese, Kim Fletchner, and then a gentleman that I just passed on Scottsville Road. His name is Chris, and he is the president of Play Pros. As some of you know, and Jennifer, sorry, and as some of you all may or may not know, the Kiwanis Club of Bowling Green has been working for over a year on doing a community project. As you all may or may not know, back after the tornadoes of 2021, we created a musical sensory garden in between Jennings Creek Moss Middle School. We're currently working with a local church to actually put a memorial for a family that was greatly impacted in that area near the bridge. And so in that process, and through Kiwanis came to us and they said, we're looking for a community project. And what could we do that could have a lasting impact on serving the public, working with the youth, and being able to provide something completely different? And with Chris, with Play Pros, with Jesse and the entire Kiwanis team, they have put together a $67,000 sensory garden, musical garden, which is completely accessible to all users. It's going to be on the back side of the existing Paradise Playground at Basil Griffin Park. It's going to be a unique feature. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind feature within the park system, and we're hoping that over the coming years we're able to do more of those at our other regional park locations. But because of the creativity of Kiwanis of Bowling Green, the partnership with Play Pros, Mr. Chris that I just passed on Scottsville Road, and the ability to kind of think outside that box, it's going to be a really fun, unique play experience that the kids and families of Warren County have never had before in our facilities. And so I want to take a minute to thank Jesse and the entire Kiwanis team, all the membership, for being involved in trying to make our community better and providing unique opportunities for the kids and families that we serve. And so on behalf of the Parks Department, thank you so much for your dedication, and I can't wait to open the playground here hopefully sometime by the end of summer, Chris. So let's get things going. All right? So thank you very much.
Just want to, Chris, thank you for that. And as a point of information, Squire Cummings and myself are both proud Kiwanians. And so the Kiwanis Club of Bowling Green is turning 100 this summer. And so in conjunction with that, Sue and Dale Wiley is here as well. Dale was not recognized. I can tell he's a little upset about it, and I'd like to recognize him right now. It's a fantastic thing that the club has done. What a partnership that I'm very proud of, but a civic organization has come and they want to make an impact. And this playground that they're doing, the Century Garden for all children, will be fantastic. So it's a great partnership, and we appreciate that. We also appreciate the library, the great job that they do. Courtney is now in charge of everything. And so any questions, complaints, or whatever, if you can see her about it. But we are so blessed to have the partnership with the library, with the Parks and Rec as well, the things that they do. So thank you all. It means the world to us about the information they do. Any questions by the magistrates about the playground or anything else?
We have one more set of friends, but they're on the agenda, so we'll talk about them here in just a little bit. So.
Right.
Yep.
And that set of friends, because they're here, I'm going to take a point of reference and I'm going to move them up so that they can do that. So we're going to move to item number 23, if that's okay. And item 23 is approve the partnership and project with the Warren County Composite Mountain Bike Team to establish a skills loop for mountain biking in Wilden Peak Park. The Parks Department will assist with this project by keeping the property maintained and mowed and by providing 3 loads of rock for the skill areas. The Warren County Composite Mountain Bike Team will complete the remainder of the work at no cost to the county. And I got a great friend of mine, Chip Winger's here. And Chip, why don't you explain this before we look to do something on this?
Happy to. Thanks for your time, first off. Appreciate it. I am the chair for Southwest Kentucky Mountain Bike Association. We're a nonprofit org, and we've built and maintain over 60 miles of trail in our region. It's for the public. We do it because we know that recreation is important, and these stressful times, people need an avenue to get out and de-stress, and mountain biking is a big one and it's the fastest growing sport in America right now. So if you would pick up the exhibit I handed you, you'll see a map of Weldon Peak Park. Besides Southwest Chem, I'm also a volunteer park commissioner for Bowling Green City Parks, and we've been working with the city as well as the county. Weldon Peak Park is unique in that it's a park that one side is county, one side is city, and I think that's a fantastic formula for us to be able to build upon it, where the county covers a little bit and the city covers a little bit, and then you have a really nice riverfront bike park for everyone to come out and have competitions as well through the NICA team, which is the National Interscholastic Cycling Association. So on the city side, just kind of set the table, you'll see a bicycle pump track. So that's being worked in, and the city has hired, I believe it's MKSK group to do a master plan for it. So we're hoping that makes the cut, but we're feeling like it is making steam. And also the park commissioners have all agreed and want to move forward with a dual slalom course. The blue and green trails you see that are dotted throughout the area is an existing trail that we built back in 2012 to 2014, open to the public. We also worked on getting the greenway put in underneath the bridge. If you hadn't seen that yet, that's just gorgeous. And that expansion with that greenway allows both parks, Mitch McConnell and Weldon Peak, to be tied in together recreationally through the greenway. And now as we move to the county side, you look on the far right of your map, you'll see a dual slalom course at the top right. That has been approved, I believe it was 2 years ago, thankfully by y'all. We were awarded the RTP grant for $25,000. Still don't have a status on it yet. We were awarded it, but no funds are in hand. So that's kind of a stalemate right now. But what we're presenting today is an expansion of that dual slalom course to include a mini skills course, bike course, and then a return line to the dual slalom course so people can loop their area. And when all this gets said and done, if you so approve it, this area would be the Riverfront Bike Park is our vision. So now I'd like to bring up Scott Duval, who is, he runs the Warren County Composite Team. That's the middle school and high school team. He'll give you some info on him and what he's requesting for us to do as a partnership together.
Okay.
Hello. Thanks, Judge Gorman and the other members of the court for letting me speak about something I hold dearly, the mountain bike team. As Chip said, I'm team director, Scott Duvall of the Warren County Mountain Bike Team. We're a 6th through 12th grade mountain bike team that serves the entire county, all the school systems, homeschool. We have about 20 kids on our team. We've been in existence since 2017. We kind of have a different sport in some ways. We don't have a bench, we don't have tryouts, and we serve kids kind of where they are. If they want to come for friends, if they want to come for fun or competition, we make all those things available to them. We teach skills to navigate mountain bike trails, and that means narrow trails through the woods, roots and rocks. So we give the kids the skills they need to be sure of doing that type of sport. It's a high adrenaline sport, and we love to see these kids come in at 6th grade, progress through that, and just get where they can navigate those trails. We have some kids on our team that are first in the state. Last year we were third in the state. 2 years ago we were third in the state. Last year we were fourth. So we've seen a lot of success with our team. There's about 20 teams in KICL, which is our Kentucky league. So it's a great team, and it's growing. And we're trying to get and I'm sharing this now with you guys so you can tell your kids, your grandkids, and everybody about it, because so many people tell me, I didn't even know we had a mountain bike team in Warren County, and we do, and it's a growing sport. So yes, what we're asking for today is this skills loop. And what a skills loop is, it's basically just a dirt trail. But you would be surprised what some loads of dirt will do to a dirt trail. So with mountain biking, you just have a bike and you have dirt, you have a trail to practice on, but we can do so much with something like that. And it's also not just for us, it's for the community. You know, when we're not out there practicing, we're going to see the community come in there. And for a place like a park like Weldon Peak, that's important, you know, have families out there. The younger kids can use this. It won't have anything on it that's outside of their comfort range. They can do it at their own level. We're asking for a couple loads of dirt. We're asking for some labor to take care of some deadfalls that are out there, some trees, dead standing timber, and we're asking for a little bit of labor to help move some dirt around. We'll handle the rest. That's something that our team is, that's an expectation on our team, is to maintain trails, to clean them up, and to continually keep them up to date, because as you use these trails, they degrade. So, and Chip has done an amazing job. If it wasn't for Chip in Southwest Kimba, we probably wouldn't have places to ride. So anytime that he's coming up here and presenting things, we're hoping that you guys are behind that, because that's such a big thing to us. But the mountain bike team is growing, and we can use all the dirt you can provide, because the bigger you make it, the more it gets people excited, more people get on board with it. Do you guys have any questions for me? All right.
Awesome. Any questions?
I got a quick question.
Great.
Sure.
So in the broader request detail, it talks about additional lighting in the parking area. Is the parking on the city side, that's not part of this proposal, correct? It is the county? But that's not explicitly part of this
So
budget?
the lighting is a little bit of a challenge because that area is in a federal floodplain. And so we're limited on what we can put in from an infrastructure standpoint in that area. And so that is one of the issues that we have with the lighting. If we did install lighting, the county would be fully responsible for any repairs when that area does flood. On average, that park will flood usually once or twice a year. And so we would eat any of those expenses to repair anything in the floodplain. We did get a one-time get-out-of-jail-free card in the flood of 2010 at some of our larger parks facilities, Basil Griffin, et cetera, and the expense to go back in and redo all the wiring, all the different component pieces. That's something that we try to mitigate in those floodplain areas. The other thing that was mentioned is we did get a grant through the state, $25,000 as a backside piece to that grant. There was an environmental section as part of the post-grant approval process, and there was found to be a possible endangered species in that area, and so we're waiting for the federal government to approve our procedure to move forward with that. So that's been the delay in regards to actually doing the pump track. We dual slalom. We've got the dirt. We've got the equipment. We have the partnership. We're just waiting for some signatures and some approvals and some thumbs up, and we're patient in that process.
And just to give you a little more background on that, we practice in the fall months. We actually practice at night because that's the only time we can after work. So we'll be out there at dark, and we actually use headlights to navigate the trail. And so just to have that extra lighting just improves the safety for our team when we always want to make sure everybody's off the trail and gets home. So that helps us do that.
One other fun thing is because of the floodplain and because of fiscal court support over the years, we do have 6 portable light towers that give us the option to illuminate areas. We use it currently now for lacrosse fields. We've used it, and they were purchased for our West Side Sports program. So if and when we did need light that can be moved out of the floodplain, we have 6 of those units. We actually used those units during the tornadoes of 2021. So because of fiscal court support, we've got some flexibility in what we can provide and offer, and that's a great thing.
Great.
One last thing I'd like to mention too on the skills course, the dual slalom, and all the stuff the city's doing too. All this helps cut back, curtail the inappropriate activity that goes on, which Weldon Peak is known for. Since we built the trail in 2012, we've seen it drop back a lot, but it still goes on. And we've had to call the police several times, even during some of the practices. And so the lighting would help in that aspect, and also once things are built, the busier traffic will keep that away too. So many benefits.
We call that purple leisure. So we're trying to lessen the purple leisure activities, and we're trying to have positive recreational experiences there. So.
If I might share one more thing, I forgot to mention too that a big part of our league is races. And we do races across the state. We have 5 this year. We're actually working on hopefully getting one out at one of the trails that Chip built in this region. But I have a dream that we could have a KSCL race right here in town. That brings a lot to the community. It brings tens of thousands of dollars, 300 or so people for lodging and restaurants. It's a big event and it's very exciting. And especially if you do it in a town such as Bowling Green, right here in downtown, you'll see all that excitement. You'll see the race in town. Elizabethtown has done it on their trail system at Buffalo Lake, which is, if you guys have been up there, you know where the Cracker Barrel and the commercial district is right next to the interstate. Their trail system is actually right behind that. So it's just right in the middle of town. So I would love to see something like that happen here in Bowling Green, but of course it takes a lot of moving parts. It takes the county and the city, and it takes these guys and Southwest Kimba. But I think if we did that right, we could actually see a KICL race happen right here at Weldon Peak Park. So that's something I want to share with you and let you know that's something that's in my mind. So hopefully it'll be in yours as well.
That's awesome. Any other questions for Scott or Chip?
I don't have a question, I have a comment.
Sure.
I just think anything we can do to offer diversity to different things to offer folks, that's important. You know, the Sensory Garden that's going on, what you all do with library and all the inclusiveness that we do, and, you know, our adaptive water program we have at Fillmore Park, and now this, I mean, I've never heard of this before. I won't lie to you, it's something I didn't know yet this existed, but I think it's important, and key would be communication, getting out there, we can get more participation, but not everybody's a softball player, not everybody's a baseball player. So these are things that I think are important to make sure we're completely inclusive in what we're doing, and I'll support it by saying I'll make the motion to pass this.
Okay, there's a motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any other questions or discussions? I never do this, but Mary, you have a question, you have a comment?
What's the mysterious endangered species?
Oh, I knew someone was going to ask that.
So the mysterious species at the location is a specific bat, I believe, and so there's a specific bat in that area that was found to be in the region, and so they're wanting to make sure that with the lights and with potential different infrastructure improvements, that it doesn't harm that population.
I was thankful it wasn't the blind cave shrimp. All right, any other, all right, if not, please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
And let me say something very quickly. I'd like to just take a quick picture. So what you've seen today before court is what I think is extremely important. How easy it is for anyone, any citizen, to be excited about things in town and then think government should do all that. And just to be quite honest with you, that is this is my opinion, but that's the easiest thing to do, to think I'm a taxpayer, so I should just have government do everything. And what you've seen today is 3 different and totally different organizations that have partnered with Fiscal Court to make our community better, and it again speaks to the exceptional quality of the kind of community that we have citizens that want to improve the community, not sit back and let someone else do it, and I'm very appreciative of that. And if it's okay, I would like to get each group, we'll just quickly stay up here, but I'd like to get a picture of each group, and we'll start off with the Kiwanis Club, if that's okay. If you all would come forward, we'll get a quick picture with each group individually, so thank you.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
We will only daughter getting married June 24th, so it was dark here about 2 weeks ago.
All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
We have no idea how rare it is for me to call Mary fast. Say something, just keep waving at her. There's no telling what she'll say.
That's funny.
Never again. That's it. I'll never ask Mary fast. One time. That's one time.
I wanted to know too.
All right, thank you for all that. We'll move on with the agenda. Item number 7 is approve emergency determination the amount of $3,782.90 to Stuart Ritchie for the repair of a leaking backflow preventer at Michael Buchanan Park that caused the entire complex to have to be shut down for repair.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Any questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams? Esquire McWhorter? Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 8, grant authority for the Warren County Jailer to sign a proposal with Liberty Technical Solutions for the migration and hosting of electronic medical records due to the transition to a new medical provider, which we approved last meeting. This project is funded by the Warren County Regional Jail Canteen account at no cost to Warren County, and we have Jailer Harmon online. Jailer?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. I'll be very brief. The next 2 items are both related to electronic medical records. We're having to contract with a company to host all of this electronically. The reason that I wanted to do this instead of doing it in-house is for protection of the medical information, but also the redundancy. We won't be responsible for maintaining it. Our IT representative requested this. And then also the next item has to do with the contract with the company that's actually going to have the software that we have been using since, I believe, November of 2020. And so just extending all of this in our name instead of the last company. But all of the upfront costs on both of these agenda items, 8 and 9, will be paid for out of the canteen account.
All right, any questions for Jailer Harmon?
Anytime he can bring us a proposal that doesn't cost us money, I'm 100% for you, Stephen, so thank you.
I appreciate that overwhelming support.
We have a motion.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Any other discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
And item 9 is grant authority for the Warren County Jailer to sign an agreement with Core EMR for use of an electronic medical records system. This system was in place for the previous medical provider, and they'll be continuing business with this vendor. And this, again, is paid for by our canteen account at the regional jail. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 10 is grant authority to Judge Executive to sign a release of a sublease agreement with Community Action for 171 Center Street. Motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Aldridge. Any discussion or question on that? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 11 is approved determination in the amount of $4,900 to Federal Field Services for removal and repair of a transformer rectifier at the Basil Griffin Park outdoor warning siren. This siren appears to have taken a lightning strike causing damage to the transformer. This amount does not meet the insurance deductible, but this is a single source vendor for our outdoor warning systems. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 12 is approved determination in the amount of $125,198.28 to Motorola Solutions for 17 radios for the Warren County Regional Jail. These radios will be assigned to federal transport teams, home incarceration deputies, and road crews who work in surrounding counties and states. And this also is paid for by the canteen account as a safety and security project at no cost to Warren County. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Any questions for Jailer Harmon?
Keep up the good work.
He always does, for sure. All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 13 is approved first reading of ordinance 2329 establishing Labrador Drive, Tundra Avenue, and Duluth Drive located in Northridge Subdivision, Phase 12, as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and speed limits, setting speed limits thereon. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Question or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 14 is to grant judge executive authority to accept Violence Against Women's Act Grant Award for January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 15 is approved determination in the amount of $14,975.60 for vehicle repairs for Stormwater Department's F-350. 3 quotes were received. This is the lowest and best bid. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Williams. Any discussion or question on that?
Just $15,000, what's the truck worth?
Nikki or Josh?
This truck has actually still got considerable value. I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of $35,000, $40,000 left on value on this truck. It's actually one that we were slated for replacement. It was going to go back to be resold to Enterprise and replaced. So we've got to get this repaired, and then it will go back and be turned back in and sold back and replaced, probably in the next fiscal year.
Thanks.
Tim?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 16 is approved determination in the amount of $3,400 even to Fiscal Soft Corporation for the fiscal year 2024 software subscription renewal for occupational taxes. This is the contracted vendor. Subscription rates have not changed from the last fiscal year. Motion by Squire Cummings. Is there a second by Squire Aldridge? Discussion or questions? If not, please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 17 is approve the first reading of ordinance 2830, rezoning property located at the northwest corner of Nashville Road and Rich Pond Rockfield Road from agriculture and highway business to general business and agriculture, containing approximately 2.89 acres and presently owned by Neil Dillard, Kay Dillard, and June Hayden.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions?
I have one. Ben here? Yeah, he's there. Just curious, I know you saw that there are 8 members present, only 5 voted yes. I'm just curious why that discrepancy.
Just due to the makeup of the planning commission under the new agreement, we had 8 members there, but since it was within a certain area, then only those 5 members could
So
vote.
all 5 voting members voted for it?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a good question. Thank you, Ben. All right. No other discussion. Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 18 is approved first reading of ordinance 2331, rezoning property located at 6427 Old Scottsville Road and 0 Scottsville Road from agriculture to residential estate to townhouse multifamily residential containing approximately 1.78 acres and presently owned by Barry Jones and Cynthia Jones. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
ma'am.
Item 19 is approved first reading of ordinance 2332, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Harmony Subdivision, Section 1. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 20 is approved lease agreement for 2 2024 Ford F-750 dump trucks or similar with snowplow and salt spreader attachments with Enterprise Fleet Management in an amount not to exceed $2,350 per month each for 72 months for use by the Warren County Road Department. This replacing 2 1994 International dump trucks. This is a state price contract. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions?
Thanks for getting 30 years.
Yeah. Warranty just ran out in those 94, so it was a good time to trade. That's right. All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
ma'am.
Item 21, approved determination the amount of $4,124.42 to Wayne Jones Body Shop LLC for repair to a 2020 Ford Escape used by the electrical inspector. 3 quotes were received. This was the lowest and best quote. Motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Not, please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
ma'am.
Item 22 is approve order 2313 declaring surplus property for the Warren County Attorney's Office. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Just a lot of great things. Ms. Milliken?
It's a printer, it's about 10 years old, it costs so much to purchase ink for that we have to get it.
It's like our 94 dump truck. That's what I expected. Okay. Any, I was hoping. Any question or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 24 is approved a lease agreement for 2 2023 Ford Explorers for the Parks Department in the amount of $375 per month per vehicle for 60 months from Enterprise Fleet Management. This is a state price contract. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. And I'm going to ask, that price is correct? $375 per month?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're using equity off.
Okay, we're trade-in. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I thought that was one heck
I
of
was
a
going
deal.
to say you can replace
Maybe get-
Tommy's, I mean, Tommy has the title of the best negotiator for
Okay,
vehicle stuff.
well,
You're getting there.
that's a great price. All right. Any other discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 25, approve emergency determination in the amount of $2,549.90 to Wright Equipment for the repair of a John Deere mower for Parks and Rec that had the transmission go out. This is a frontline mower for the Central District. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Questions or discussions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 26, approve the receipt for transferring delinquent property tax bills from the sheriff to the county clerk. Motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions?
I get just make sure my clarification, now that these are uncollected, what's the next step? Lynette or sheriff, to collect these monies?
They will be kept in my office. We have our tax sale set up for the people. They have from now until August the 16th to make payment. If they're going to do a property or a payment agreement, they'll set that up with Amy. And they, like I said, they will just pay the extra fees are added on, the delinquencies are added on. Amy has a fee, the sheriff has a fee, I have a fee, all that gets added, but they will pay it in our office.
And if they ultimately don't pay, will we put liens
Then
on
that's
it?
on the, well, no, the tax sale, we have third-party sale on August the 17th, and those bills are put up for sale. Third-party entities purchase those bills, or some of the bills, not all of them. They'll purchase those, and then the taxpayer will have to they will be in contact with a third party. The third party will place a lien on their property.
Or we will if they don't sell. Or we will if they don't sell.
Right.
What the ones don't sell.
Yeah, it's a great question. Not all of them are sold, but the majority of them are sold, and that lien is put on there. That property cannot be transferred, sold, anything until that lien is satisfied. And it's not something, I have no problem saying it's not something any taxpayer wants to have happen to their property. So they should start making arrangements.
Exactly.
Currently, anyone that has not paid the sheriff needs to be in contact with Ms. Milliken and Ms. Yates to figure that out long before August 16th.
We'll be placing an ad. There'll be an ad placed in the paper. It'll be on our website, all of the delinquent tax bills. We'll also be placing an ad letting the taxpayers know that their property is coming up for sale, or those tax liens will be coming up for sale I think it's about 3 weeks before the actual sale. But they have up until the day before
To still buy it and pay it?
to pay whatever, penalty will be added and interest, but they do have that time to pay up.
Historically, has there been a percentage in the past we've collected this before?
We generally, I think we had a little over 1,100, that's what I'm trying to look back at my phone.
1169.
That were turned over. We will probably collect at least half of those in our office. Of course, the closer it gets, people realize that they want to get that paid. So they will either contact Amy to set up payment agreement. But typically we'll sell, we may end up with, when we start the sale, maybe 400, 450, and we'll sell about 150 of them.
Thank you for
A
that.
lot of those are mobile home tax bills, and we typically don't sell anything on mobile home tax bills.
Thank you. Been very informative.
Welcome.
Yep. So great. And just last thing again, on August 17th, when they are sold, we are completely removed from that process. There is nothing the clerk, the sheriff, the attorney, or this court can do about that. That is absolutely between the homeowner, property owner, and the person that bought that. So there's someone calls you after that. They've been warned. And this is every year, but we appreciate that, and it was a great idea. Sheriff had 1,100 or so properties that were not paid, and pretty low percentage, but still extremely low percentage. But at the end of the day, all bets are off after that.
And the daily news will be happy because that'll be as big as publication dates with that 1,100 in the paper. It's a lot to put in the paper.
Correct. All right. Any other question or discussion? All right. Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 27, approve Resolution 2308, authorizing the sheriff to make application for grant funds and upon approval to enter into an agreement with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by KOHS to facilitate and administer the project and to act as an authorized correspondent for this project. Sheriff, have any comments on that?
So this application, there is no matching for it. So if we were to get it, it would be entirely the amount of the grant application. And this particular grant, what we would like to have, what our desire would be, to have redo our dispatch center. In the system that we have right now, this would help with, like, if somebody calls in from a phone on their cell phone, it automatically would give us the location of that person. And then as we get phone calls transferred from Bowling Green Police, because they're the PSAP for the dispatch center, all the information they would send us would automatically be generated and put into our CAD system when it comes over. So right now, it comes into the PSAP of Bowling Green Police Department. They say, 911, what is your emergency? The person starts to tell them, they say, what's your address in the county? So then they have to transfer it to us. Then we're going to ask them the same question. So there's a slight delay with that anytime an emergency comes in of that nature. And so this would help just shore that up. That's the plan. So there's a lot of, we had one of these companies come in and give us a demonstration. It's pretty amazing. A lot of bells and whistles on it that we're not used to. There's also a training aspect of it that your trainer in dispatch, we have somebody new, can put on a headset. And then even while they're talking, they can hush their mic, but they can talk directly into the ear of the trainee to say, you need to ask this question or this question. So it really helps with all the training aspect of it as well. You know, right now we got to, try to muffle the phone somehow to make sure we're getting some of the things when we train somebody. But anyhow, just a lot of bells and whistles. And so we're getting 3 quotes right now. I think we've obtained 3 quotes on this, but the idea would be to obtain this grant, use that for that.
Be great.
Any questions?
Question for Sheriff? Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
We have a motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Any more? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
And follow up to that, item 28 is approve resolution 2309, authorizing the Warren County Judge Executive on behalf of Emergency Management to make application for grant funds and upon approval to enter an agreement with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by KOHS to facilitate and administer the project and to act as the authorized correspondent for this project. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Item 29, approve determination the amount of $16,104 to Legacy OPE for the purchase of a 72-inch Grasshopper zero-turn mower for Parks and Rec to replace a Skag mower that is being surplused at Griffin Park, and this is Kentucky price contract pricing. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or question? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 30 is approve order 2314 declaring surplus property for Parks and Recreation Department. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 31 is approve order 2315 declaring surplus property for Parks and Recreation Department and authorizing them to work with Enterprise Fleet to sell the vehicles to provide funds toward the new lease vehicles currently on order. This will ensure all Parks and Rec vehicles are under the Enterprise Fleet program contracted through the county. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is approve the budget transfers for Warren County. Motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 33 is grant permission for Judge Executive to sign memorandum of agreement contract with the Office of Drug Control Policy, Kentucky Justice Cabinet to provide training funding for the Narcotic Officers Training Conference. This is a $25,000 pass-through grant and no cost to the county. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
And item 34 is approve the health insurance contribution of $600 per month per employee for the Warren County employees for fiscal year 23-24. Those participating in wellness can earn an additional $100 per month for a total contribution of $700 per month. Employees waiving the county's health insurance will be given a $400 a month in a health reimbursement account or a health savings account with Pinnacle Financial. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. And again, this is an increase, like everything else from last year, trying to stay competitive and with our health insurance as the best we can. Still deciding on the plans, but what we do know is budgeting-wise, what we can help to do this. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're happy to have our Deputy Treasurer, Stephen Kenworthy, here. He couldn't sleep last night, so excited to present the claims for Warren County. Stephen?
General Fund, $1,443,698. Road Fund, $112,105. Jail Fund, $451,200. Stormwater Fund, $65,223. LGEA Fund, $4,500. Grant Fund, $301,241. E911 Fund, $13,050. Hotel Tax Fund, $392,468. Any questions?
Motion to pay the claims.
I was hoping there was a question. I'm playing. Sorry, Stephen, to do that to you. I held it for just a moment too long there. So we have a motion to pay the claims by Squire Cummings, a second by Squire McWhorter. Please call the roll.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
You can breathe now, Stephen. It was fine. It was a good job. So. Thank you for all that. Sheriff Hightower?
Couple things. Just want to thank Magistrate Aldridge last night for hosting an event in Browning. It was well attended, good event, so I appreciate that. Also, most people may know, I don't know what it is my wife does. The Gypsy Moon is this weekend, so a big event. I know her and all the daughters go, and she trusts me enough to watch our son for a few hours, so it must be a big deal. But anyhow, that's going on, so a lot of traffic in and out of there, so. But otherwise,
Send the credit card.
that's it. That's
right.
it. That's right.
And we'll speak after this.
Yes, sir.
About yesterday, sorry. Great. Miss Yates? All good in your world, that's great. Jailer Harmon?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Jailer. Chris, appreciate all your hard work. Thank you. Mr. Moore, good to see you. Holly Warren, you still on here?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you for muting your microphone earlier today at the meeting. It was very kind of you. After, you should, no, I'm playing. Thank you, Holly. You got it all going on. Travis Ronnie's out. He's got a meeting, so all good? Thank you. Tommy? Thanks for the hard work. Got a few things working with you, so that's great. Ben Peterson? A lot of activity going on as usual, so appreciate that. Mr. Markram? That's great. Squire McWhirter?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Squire Aldridge, great job. I apologize. I had to go to a speak at the Corvette plant last night, and it was Browning Corvette plant. They appear to be on the opposite ends of the county, so I couldn't make it, so thank
A
you.
little bit of difference in between the two. I do want to thank the members of the court that were able to come out and the department heads. I greatly appreciate it. I heard a lot of great comments from the community, appreciating you guys showing up. I do want to make note of our next community event. We're trying to do one of these per month. It will be at the Richardsville Community Center on Thursday, May the 25th at 6 p.m. And per judge's request, we will feed everyone.
Well, you don't have,
You mentioned it at the last meeting, so, you know, hey.
I have to go to enough evening meetings if it's from 6 to 8. Who doesn't bring food? That's all I will
Hey,
say.
we're bringing food.
But I'm glad I'm the only person that eats between 6 and 8. It's very kind of you to
I
mention. It's
had
good.
to, thank you. Sir.
Yes. Anyone that went, if you'd like to comment on the food that was prepared by Squire Aldridge, I'd love to hear about it. But
I went, and the
Squire
food
Cummings?
was excellent.
Okay.
And one thing I learned by our freshman magistrate, that if you feed people at an event like that, they don't complain. So it was. So I learned something that I have water and kind of cookies, but man, really feed them is like pretty amazing how much difference it was.
Full bellies make a difference.
note to self, that's right. All right, Squire Cummings.
I have several. First of all, I want to congratulate Amy Milliken. We thought about we had to turn the lights out today for the shining that's coming off that ring over there. So congratulations to you and your engagement. So,
Thank you.
want to talk about the Plano Fire Department. It's a little far out, but I want to start announcements now with it. June the 10th from 4 to 7, we'll be having a tour out there with a new safe room. And so that'll be June the 10th, 4 to 7. A couple of happy birthdays I want to do. Brenda Petty, longtime former employee here, was 71 today. So, but the other person is Hayward Minton. Probably the jewel of Warren County, turns 101 today, and I want to shout out to him. It's pretty amazing. Hayward's still running. He drove to Kiwanis yesterday, so
right.
Pretty amazing guy. Want to thanks to you and those who participated. We had Leadership Bowling Green up here a week or so ago, and created a fiscal mock court, and it was a lot of fun. I think well enjoyed by everybody. So thank you, Judge, and those who were here to participate in that. And last thing is not early enough to start this, but the 25th annual Soapbox Derby presented by the Kiwanis Club is May the 19th and 20th out at Fillmore Park. We'll have a event on the 18th, 17th, Wednesday the 17th. The meeting will be out at the park. And those of you all who've never been in an oil can into a soapbox car, you'll have your opportunity to come out and go down the hill and race against somebody. This is where challenges can be thrown out, and but that's always a good event. That'll be 11:30 out at Fillmore Park on Wednesday the 17th. And if you've never participated in that event, it's a lot of fun. You get a chance to see what these kids really go through. So, but real proud, 25th year of the Soapbox.
Great. Thank you, Squire Cummings.
Thank you.
Squire Williams.
Don't have anything, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Squire Lawrence.
Yeah, Judge, I've got one thing here. AMVETS Post 130 is having an amazing event this weekend. They're having a steak championship cook-off. And they're having the, if you want to be a judge, you could go out to the VFW out on Gordon Avenue, and you'd have to be there this afternoon at 5 o'clock. You'd go through a class to learn how to be a judge and do things. And then tomorrow, the competition starts at 9 in the morning. And they'll be cooking steaks and making cocktails and doing all kinds of stuff out there. It's all for a great cause too. AMVETS Post 130 is Rob Henderson's namesake post, and he passed away. He was one of the first people from Warren County that died in the Iraq War. And it's a great cause to help.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Squire Lasley.
Two things. First of all, the clerk's office is hard at work gearing up for the primary election. This is an undertaking that is a non-trivial effort and takes a lot of planning, and Lynette and the crew does a great job. I'd just like to remind folks that the last day to request mail-in absentee is May 2nd. Early voting, non-excuse, there's going to be 5 locations, starting Thursday, May 11th. And so it'd be good to get as many people to turn out as possible. And then also this next weekend is WKU's graduation. Always an exciting time for a lot of young people as they embark, and hopefully a lot of them will stick around in Warren County, take advantage of all we offer.
Absolutely. Great, good comments. Stephen?
Thank you, Judge.
Shocking. Okay. I'm playing. Great job today. I'm proud of you, buddy. Very proud of you. Ms. Milliken?
On behalf of Sheriff Hightower and myself, we would like to send our condolences out to Gary Mitchell, one of our chaplains with the Sheriff's Office and with Western and BGPD. He lost his wife Linda earlier this week, so sending our condolences out to him.
Thank you. Great man. Crystal? I think so. Like everyone to, thank you. Like everyone to mark their calendars, Thursday, May 4th at 11 a.m. We're having a ribbon cutting and open house at our new Warren County Road Department building. That is next week, correct? So please, we would love to have everyone come out there. We'll have some refreshments and some food at 11 a.m. So we'd love to see everyone with the county out there. It's a great building, something we should all be proud of. And so let's support the road department, come out for that for sure. And while you're out there as well, it's a good opportunity. We'll have it open. I've just made the thought myself, but we'll have our new community and voting center open at Sugar Maple. It should be finished by then, and so please, while you're at the road department, you leave, go by Sugar Maple, number 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is to the right of the archway there, and take a look at what we've done for that facility too. I think you'll enjoy that, be able to take a look at that. All right. Squire Donahoe, good to see you. I'll talk with you after the meeting and anyone else. But if there's no other business to come before the court, do we have a motion to adjourn? A motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Aldridge. All in favor say aye. We are adjourned.